Ho, 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 and welcome ho, 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 to the Naughty or Nice 300, brought to you by RB Racing and Jim Paints Things. Roy Paints Things, I got it wrong! Santa, you're fired.
Apparently Santa wasn't checking that list too well.
No, he wasn't. He had to check it twice, and he only checked it once. But you know what? We're going to check it twice, and we're here, live from Auto Club. And who's we, folks? Well, it's me, Joe LaCastro, and Sheldon Atkins with Austin Derbyshire, the Grid Vision boys, and we are going to be calling for you a sweet 150 laps around Auto Club tonight here in the Naughty or Nice 300. Here comes the Google Earth satellite cam showing us that track. And Sheldon, are you excited for this one tonight? I'm pretty pumped to be back in the booth, buddy.
Oh, yeah, man. 150 laps, 300 miles from the world's fastest Amazon fulfillment center. Always a blast to come here to Auto Club, though. This is a great track. Unfortunately, does not exist in its current state anymore. But it's such a fun place because there's just so many different ways you can attack it. You know, you're going to see people all the way painted up against the wall. You're going to see them all the way down to the flat just about. There's no such thing really as a wrong line here at this facility, and that's going to make for some great cutthroat racing, especially with the dynamic track changes that we've seen with this latest build.
All right. Well, you know what? That's one of the beauties of the iRacing service here is that we get to live a little bit of history. Why don't you give us some keys to racing around this historic track here?
Yes, absolutely. And there's so many different ways you can go about it. But number one, you're going to be ahead of the adjustments. This track is going to be ever changing. The rubber buildup, it's something new to a lot of people. Might catch them off guard here. You know, some of the older heads here on the sim, you know, we're used to having the rubber buildup the way that's going to be coming in. But for some of the newer guys, man, you just really want to be ahead of your adjustments. You want to make the changes to flow with the track. You don't want to be caught without the proper adjustment. Number two, chase the grip. You're always going to be searching, always trying to find which lane's going to be the best. Because a track like this, multi-groove in nature, throw that extra I lost my thought there. Good Lord, it's been a while. Sorry about that, guys. But you throw that extra curveball of the rubber building up different ways, and there's a lot of different ways you can really skin the cat here at Auto Club. And to round it all out, Black Friday was 2 weeks ago, but savings going to be just as important here, whether that's tire saving or, most importantly, fuel saving, because it feels like these 2 mile tracks always come down to who has that last extra drop of Sunoco fuel in the tank.
All right. Hey, that's perfect. 1, 2, 3. And now let's look at the picks for tonight's race. We've got a lot of racers on the track tonight. Some you recognize, some you don't. I went with the 62 Double J Jarrett. That's who I'm going with right now. How about you?
Good pick. I got to go with that Double Deuce machine, though. I got to go with somebody that put on some really good performance in the OB Builders Cup Series this year. I'm going with Bryce Rayner.
Bryce Rayner. And then the 21 of Patrick Gitter. Down there in the truck, Austin Derbyshire says that's going to be what we got. So 62, 22, and 21, I think, are your pick 3 for tonight. Let's go ahead and break down, though, the grid for tonight's race. Starting things off, first person on the pole, it's Kevin West. Number 2, Zach Millett. Number 3, Daniel Wiles. Number 4, Patrick Gitter. Number 5, Aaron Smith. Number 6, Jeremy Long. Number 7, Ryan Strunk. Number 8, Russell Black. Number 9, Charles Wimbley. And 10, Gabriel Andy. Take it away.
Brought off the grid, 11th is going to be Jacob Bradley with Jake Jarrett to the outside in 12th. 13th going to be Craig Lewis with Devins Baker in 14th. 15th place is going to be my pick, the Double Deuce, Bryce Rayner with Cole Fitzpatrick to the outside in 16th. 17th is going to be Dallas Fridley with Kevin Zosiak in 18th. 19th place on the grid is going to be Matthew Taylor, and rounding out the top 20, it's going to be Randy Sample. Take it, Joe.
You got it. Brian Ruisi, Brian Reese in 21st with Matt Carabina in 22nd. Ryan Gillette in 23rd with Roy Grandy in 24th. Joseph Sullivan in 25th with Vincent Short in 26th. Jim Treat in 27th with Jaden Hopp in 28th. James Molyneux in 29th. And Justin Bell rounding it out in 30th. A solid set of 30 cars
strong.
Later.
Yeah, man, 30 cars strong. We got some pretty big names in here, you know. It's going to be a lot of great racing, though, and I see that Team Conti especially has a lot of representation here today because it feels like they have about a quarter of the grid. It's going to be interesting to see what those machines are capable of here tonight.
Yeah, it's fun to have like a Christmas themed race where we're gonna get a nice mix of different guys from different leagues, different teams together. You know, I see a few, like I said, a few names out here that I personally recognize from other leagues that I've called, and you yourself have recognized a few as well. I'm sure several names in here are popping out to you. So folks, so I see we already have some fans up there in the chat. Nice to have you. Good to have folks watching already from the start as we kick things off here at Auto Club. So who do you have for tonight's race, folks? Let's hear what names are popping off for you. So let's get involved and let's have a little back and forth tonight as we go around.
Hey, one of the things that we got to focus on tonight too is going to be the paint schemes. You know, with the Christmas theme for this race is an award for whoever has the best paint scheme. I don't know who you've been looking at all through practice and qualifying, but right now I got my eyes craned on that 11 machine. Roy Grande just brought a wonderful Premier Setup Shop Chevrolet presented by none other than Will Ferrell from Elf. And if you look at the back bumper there, and I wish we had wish I had the teleprompter right now, because you got you got Will Ferrell doing the splits on the back of it, and when somebody gets into the back of them, that could be a very touchy subject.
That is a premier looking paint scheme on the Premier Racing Setups car, and here comes the splits on Buddy the Elf as we are going around through 3 and 4, getting ready to get things started here. Oh, we got another pace lap. Excuse me. We probably were extending this one more time around. So you're going to get a chance, folks, to enjoy a little parade lap here as we look at a few of these. There's a Peanuts paint scheme on the 50. I got to say that feels pretty nostalgic, too. Got to love it. Oh, look at that. Look at that sad-looking Christmas tree. Charlie Brown Christmas. This might be my vote. Elf is good, but this has got me right in the feels, huh?
It definitely brings back a lot of nostalgia. But I'm pretty sure that Buddy could actually properly throw and catch a football.
You're probably right. He's got Charlie Brown.
We know he can play hockey.
He's got Charlie Brown really solidly beat in that regard. So we got to keep our eyes out for a few of these other paint schemes, folks, and we want to see who you think is the best dressed tonight, the best wrapped, I guess would be the way to put it. Coming back down through the back stretch. Yep.
You were probably Pigpen growing up, weren't you?
I was a Pigpen kid, definitely. You know, you got me there. I'll admit it. But I preferred to consider myself more of a Schroeder. I was the musical one. You know what I mean?
I was like, I was Linus. I wouldn't go anywhere without my blanket, man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
From that thing.
Yeah, that was me too. I got to admit, I had a safety blanket when I was real little. Okay, since we're all talking about it.
Mine lasted until I was about 4, and it fell apart in the wash. At least that's what Mama told me.
That's what your mom told you. Yeah. Well, there goes the pace car, and these guys are all going to be abandoning their safety blankets right now as we get ready to go here at Auto Club. Let's get things kicked off in the Naughty or Nice 300. Woo! All right, what a start there. Good launch, and we're still side by side. A little bit of activity there, but the 1 and the 6 leading things off here. It's Weston Millett.
It's still side by side, you say, but it's going to be a majority of the race. We see a little bit of 3 wide action right now with Patrick Gitter starting to work his way up to the middle. Gets the door shut in his face coming out of turn 2, trying to ride that top line momentum, though. I picked Rainer, but definitely keep your eyes craned on that 21 machine because Pat is always really good here at these multi-groove tracks.
Millett, pardon me, I want to make sure I get that name correctly. Zach Millett right now out in front. Still side by side there. Oh, car in the grass.
Slide through the grass there.
Whew.
And the Mountain Dew machine of Fitzpatrick takes a quick cut through the grass, messed up the landscaping, but up to the lead now. Here comes the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter, wasting no time to take up the front of the pack.
That's right. And now we're going to find out real quick who wants to get on the Naughty or Nice list in this race, because all that 2-wide activity behind the leads now has started to simmer down a little bit. Still kind of crazy. 3-wide, though. I spoke a little too soon. Very briefly as the 70 slides right up. That's Aaron Smith. Go back and
look here at the replay. What happened with Fitzpatrick?
Oh!
Little squeeze up against the wall. Car got tight. Lost the nose. Just barely misses the attenuator. What a drive, because that would have been curtains closed here on lap 1 for that machine.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just about the back left tire slamming into those barrels. Really bad. Would have been really bad for these guys, for that guy. Pardon me, for him, for Fitzpatrick. But now back out in front, Patrick Gitter has solidified his lead.
One thing you got to keep your eyes on too. I see the Grinch starting to lurk into the picture here. That 88 machine of Daniel Wiles working the inside line, holding up some pretty good pace, but with him running the bottom like that, I know what that's about. He sees these cars going by him on the outside. That might be a little false sense of speed, though. We've seen in seasons past, the top lane really quick here starting out. But once you get about 15 or so laps on those tires, it just feels like you threw an anchor out. As you see Wiles try to chop off a little bit of the run on that outside lane to stop the bleeding here for a minute, so he could settle in and just hold spot here in 6th.
And we've got still some side-by-side action here. Wiles in the 88.
Take a peek at the back bumper of that 88 machine, by the way. How'd you like to be staring at that all race?
I have to ask the 3. Oh, who's got the Grinch just staring him down? I would be a little unnerved by that, to be honest. And there goes the 3, trying to get out of the line of sight from the Grinch there, seeing if he can make a pass on the 88, because the 77's doing the work for him. Ryan Strunk has left an opening there, and here comes Wembley. Wembley can't quite get the speed, though, here going into 3 and 4, and he's going to tuck in behind the 88 and get that Grinch back on him.
Wembley, another top-tier caliber talent here in this field. That 3 machine is going to be one to keep your eyes on as well. You see him slowly carving his way through the field to start this thing off.
There's that upper groove. You mentioned that there's going to be a lot of multi-groove driving here. That Auto Club can very often have people driving the outside.
On the bottom.
Oh, man.
And he saved it. Kevin West with the save of a lifetime just about loses total control of that machine coming out of turn 2.
Wow.
Bells it down, though, keeps it on the bottom and keeps it straight. Let's get a look at that.
Here's the view from long, watching West. Now here's West.
He got a little bit of air pulled off the spoiler there. You see, right up there to the back bumper. You can get the car in front of you loose. If you tuck up right by the diffuser, pulls all the air off and out from underneath the car and just completely snaps you around.
We've still got some wide racing, still some too wide racing going on back here as people come around into the back stretch. Eyes on Gabriel Andy right now, the number 2 car here out in front. He's leading Kevin West on the inside. Kevin West still trying to use that inside lane as best he can. And high on the outside, that's the 14 of Devins Baker, I believe. Oh, no, of Ryan Gillette.
And full paint scheme for Gillette as well. Yeah, get well soon, Omar Chevrolet. Got all the starter Pokemon with Christmas hats on.
Oh, okay.
That's more your speed, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, I'd say so. Pokemon, yeah.
Random fact about Joe, didn't you have something to do with that at some point?
One of my few claims to fame is I am a Pokemon voice actor. That is correct.
We're sitting in a booth with a legend here, folks.
Yeah, along with everybody else who ever guest starred on Pokemon, which is quite a few people. But you know how it is.
A little bit of 3 wide here. Well, it was. As soon as I mentioned it, they broke it off.
They heard you. They heard you. And they said, nah, if he's going to call 3 wide, that means we're going to go ahead and slide back into the 2 wide situation. Ooh, we got a car down on the inside.
Around the back straightaway.
Who is that? That was a big slam there. That's James Molyneux in the 94. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine and see just what the heck happened here. Molyneux's, he's only made it up to 28th so far in the race so far. But what happened? Oh, man.
That looks like a self-snap out of turn 2. It looks like he just chased it.
It does, yeah.
Went it back just a smidge more.
Oh, wow.
Looks like
okay.
It's a pit exit gone wrong, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate. Big self-spin for Molyneux, and then that's going to set him back even further, unfortunately, as he's going to be one of the first cars that's probably going to be, he is one of the first cars to be several laps down here. Coming in now. We still have some side-by-side situations, but we've got eyes in the front here on Gabriel Andy, sitting at 14th right now, down 4 from where he started. Just ahead of him, Kevin West is actually down 12 from where he started. He was up. He was the pole position, I believe. And now he's down 12. He's quite the fall, quite the tumble down from the top, but we have a long race ahead of us.
Yeah, we're also getting to that point, too, where the track is starting to change ever so slightly. But the main thing these guys are probably fighting right now, and the part of the reason we see so much multi-groove racing happening right now is the fact just how potent that dirty air is. Everybody wants to get out from behind everybody here. And we got one guy making some big moves a little bit further up the field, moving up to 6th place now as he tries to get past the 77 machine. Jake Jarrett working the outside line through 1 and 2. He's been creeping his way through the field.
Jake Jarrett, I'm affectionately calling Double J right now.
Oh, JJ got a little loose there in the center of 1 and 2, tagged the fence a little bit, lost all his momentum. Now he's got to work back again to get it back here into 3. Ryan Strunk, you see there in the 77 machine, holds to the bottom lane, pulls a clean slide job out of turn 4. And Ryan Strunk's going to hold on to that 6th place spot for now.
Yeah, that was a nice slide there from Strunk. Very good. Is able to keep that spot there on the outside. He's using the whole track right now, if you can see. Right now he's riding the inside of 1 and 2, not quite down to the line. There behind him, the 3 of Charles Wembley is using even more of the track. Slides all the way back up to the outside, cutting off Jake Jarrett behind him. Jarrett staying on the outside. He's staying high on that outside line and just trying to find what momentum he can, trying to save up there if he can. He's bounced off the wall a couple of times, though, I've noticed tonight. We've seen a few people, unfortunately, make that trip, and I think that Jarrett just has lost a little bit of that momentum that he has been trying to seek, and now he's sort of stuck around 8th.
It's all about ebbs and flows here. This track's going to change a lot. These cars are going to change a lot before this night's over, too. That's not factoring in the weather changes that we're going to go through as well. Once we work later into the day, you know, it's going to get slicker for a little bit. And if that sun starts to set, it's going to get a little bit cooler and a little bit more grippy for these guys to work around.
Now let's see what's going on here with a few other drivers here up at the front. Daniel Wiles leading things, and now Strunk on the inside. Trying to see what he can do. Can he catch Bradley here? Finds himself on the inside.
Strunk's looking like he's got a pretty good car. You know, we've seen him make some pretty big passes here the last couple of laps. Boosts himself up. He's up in front of Wembley right now, down to the bottom of the track here, trying to pull the slider to take over the 5th spot. Not able to do it, though. 60 machine of Jacob Bradley holds tight in that outside lane and keeps them at bay for the time being. But now Strunk going toe-to-toe here into turn 1 with Wembley to the outside for 6th.
Strunk and Wembley right there behind Jacob Bradley. Bradley's just letting them battle it out right now, but it's going to be Wembley moving up this time. Strunk's going to fall in line right behind. And we really don't have a serious gap right now that's formed here in the field at all. We have a few gaps here and there that are a couple car lengths here and there, but really the top 26 cars or so, all very, very close to each other.
Yeah, this is a very hard track to build an advantage at. You know, you got that little bit of drafted ups on the straightaway, but it's not as much as, you know, say an Echo Park or a Daytona or a Talladega or Michigan, even for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a driver's track, and a lot of drivers pride themselves on being good here at a auto club. And that makes a lot of people put in a lot of work to get it figured out here, and it really makes it difficult to find an advantage. Another track that is kind of reminiscent in that regard would be obviously the old Atlanta, or personally I think Charlotte is the one where it's the most difficult.
Well, this is definitely looking to be a difficult track for several drivers. You mentioned it's a driver's track, and it certainly is. These guys have been very professional so far on their way around, and the driving has been very competitive. Lots of passing, lots of switching places here right now. Speaking of which, not bad.
What a save there.
Very good move from Strunk, as he now has moved up into 6th place. Bradley behind him, still up 4, but he's in 7th. It's the 70 and the 22. That's Aaron Smith and Bryce Reiner. They're side by side still, coming down and across the line. Looks like the 70, looks like Smith is trying to make another pass. See if he can make the pass on Russell Black. Russell Black is really hugging the inside line there. And the geometry is going to work for him a little bit, as now Russell Black is in a good position to defend his spot, but he's not moving defensively. So I think that this might end up going to Smith after all.
I think Rainer's been back there saving tires a little bit too.
Yeah, you watching the 22 just sort of tuck it in?
Oh, I picked him. I got to keep my eyes on him a little bit. And he's just been kind of hanging around 11th, not really trying to do anything against this clot of cars in front of him. And I feel like he might be trying to save a little bit for later in the stage. Tire wear is everything here at Auto Club.
Right. Oh, wow. That was... That accordion move that we just saw coming out of 2, really the kind of stuff that just makes my hackles raise watching a race like this. But yet again, everybody here in the Naughty or Nice 300, they want to keep things nice and clean. I want to once again thank Roy Paints Things for being one of the sponsors for tonight's race. All these amazing paint schemes on these cars tonight.
Mind you, it may look like these guys are going around here pretty slow from up here in the booth on the camera. I just want to reiterate, the slowest speed these guys are hitting in the corners is 168. At the tail end of the straightaways, we're hitting about 195, 197 miles an hour.
Yeah, we are
As we get
cruising.
a look at that over here on the board. And yeah, this is a track you carry a lot of speed. It just doesn't look like much because of how long the straightaways are and how wide the camera shots are to kind of compensate for that.
Yeah, a lot of fakery going on, folks. A lot of in-camera compression of the image. This is fast driving. There's no way around it. And even when you're in the cars and everybody's going around with you, you get a sense of speed pretty quick once you realize that every small movement adds up.
I think the biggest shame in the sport is the fact that they got rid of this place a handful of years back. This was a fun track to go to.
Gorgeous looking. Unfortunately, that land makes good Amazon warehouse space.
Yep, if we get a good onboard,
Happening.
Shot through 1 and 2 here, you're gonna see the most beautiful landscape in, I think, all of American motorsports anyway. I mean, it doesn't translate as well here on iRacing, but there's a beautiful set of mountains back there.
Oh, look at that.
And
lovely shot.
When they'd run here in February, you can see the snow caps on top of them some years.
Well, we are getting the most we can out of it right now. We're on lap 23 out of 150. Looking up here, Jeremy Long right now. And Jaden Hopp, couple of names that we're keeping eyes on.
Oh, I got a fun fact for you.
Yeah, what's up?
About this speedway.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember Terminator, right?
Oh, yes.
You remember when they dipped him into the molten steel?
Oh, yeah.
At the steel foundry? That was on this same property before they built the track here.
That's wild. This is some storied patch of land here.
They used an actual steel mill out there to shoot the shot, and they filmed it right here.
That is really cool. That is really cool. Well, 3 cheers for Auto Club. That's what I say. I think I'm glad that they decided to race here. RB Racing picked this as the track for the Naughty or Nice 300. Wow, I just got really Jersey there for a second. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, where did that come from?
No idea. Naughty and nice. Yeah.
Snooky, is that you?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know where that came from at all.
Well, you got the Kenny Wallace laugh going there, so I can definitely tell you're from St. Louis.
Hey, wait, is Kenny Wallace from St. Louis?
Yeah,
Nice.
the Herminators from out there.
All right. So another one for St. Louis. We got John Goodman, John Hamm, Kenny Wallace, me. Well, this is great.
Most importantly, at least for us right now, you.
Right. Let's get back to the race, though, folks. Watching Bryce Reiner right now down on the inside, the 22. And there's still a little bit of side-by-side racing going on.
Strunk, big wiggle through 1 and 2 as we got a battle for second right now, though. Here comes Wembley taking a peek down to the inside of Millet.
Zoom.
And he's going to take that spot with ease.
Yeah, he did. There was only a little bit of side-by-side racing there between the 3 and the 6. They made the passes, though. Millet was just not able to hold on. But now he is, though. Look, he's tucked in. He's got the bubble. Or at least he did for a second there, choosing not to stick in that draft. Now up at, you know what still though, up at front, Patrick Gitter has been kind of getting through this one a little bit unchallenged.
Well, Patrick does have the benefit of clean air, but I mean, I wouldn't, so much say that the clean air is the entire thing keeping him ahead, though. I mean, Patrick is always really good when we come to these worn-out, abrasive tracks where it's all about tire management, tire saving, and being good on the long run. And I think back to his big win in OB Builders Cup earlier in the year. That was at Dover. Everybody was coming down pit road an extra time to shred tires. He stays out there an extra 40 or so laps, knowing that those tires are going to be down to about 2-3% when he came across the line, but he backed up the pace so much so that he was able to limp it back home without too much problem. So somebody that can save tire that aggressively at a track like that, I imagine it's going to be lights out quick here tonight from Auto Club. But
all right.
I say that as Charles Wembley is absolutely looming in the mirror here and slowly working himself up to that race leader.
That's right. He's doing just what we want to see, which is putting a little bit of pressure on. And I think that the battling behind Gitter had to also calm down. Like someone had to win the fights that were going on, the fights for second, the fights for third that were happening pretty consistently since this race started. And now we're seeing a challenger rise from the ashes of those battles, and that's Charles Wembley making his way up. Another 2x2 fight, though, as Wiles up there on the outside loses a spot, unfortunately, down there to the 81 of Jaden Hopp. Hopp's made some speed. He's up 24 places from where he started right now, and he's sitting in 4th place, started in 28th, looking really good.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Charles Wembley cutting through the field. I mean, it's not too surprising for me, though. The opportunities that we have covered him here on Grid Vision, he's shown a lot of pace, a lot of good runs. Only problem is he's had a little bit of a bad luck Chuck scenario every time we have covered him, that he's just been caught out in circumstances not of his own doing. But he's quick here tonight, and that's what matters most.
That's right. And this is a staged race, by the way, folks. We wanted to remind folks this is going to have a break here. A yellow at 35 laps is where we're going to see the end of stage 1. So, as the 70 bounces off the wall, Aaron Smith with a wiggle and a slam. Not going to be good for his speed, but he's not going to lose any places yet. Right behind him, Russell Black, though, sees this as an opportunity, I'm sure. But there goes Smith, high to the outside. The 64 of Black down to the inside, using what speed he can. Can't quite get enough to get side by side there with the 70 again, though.
Here comes Rayner working the outside line here through 3 and 4. Double deuce machine starting to be pretty well hooked up here at the end of the run.
Whoa!
Looks high now down to the bottom to the inside here. The 77 machine has shrunk to the line. It's going to be Rayner this time by barely a nose. Going to come up, shut the door here into turn 1, try and take that clean air away from that 77 machine. The Bryce Rayner late into the stage, working his way to the front.
Wow. Fantastic switch up there from Rayner. He really just slid right around the inside, made that pass nice and clean, made it look easy. Looking good. He's up 9 places now, too. Kepling up here. Wembley wants the stage. He's going to chase down Patrick Ginter. We're on lap 32, looking for 35 to end stage 1. There's going to be a fight for first.
And down to the inside, here comes Charles Wembley taking a peek on Patrick Ginter into turn 1. Wembley with the advantage. Ginter going to charge it back in deep, though, on the outside line. Ginter not done yet, trying to hold him at bay, but Wembley just ever so slightly faster here on the bottom. It's going to be a drag race down the back straightaway. Ginter's going to take the advantage of that outside line momentum.
And it's Chevy versus Chevy, side by side. The 21 and the 3 still battling it out. Ginter not deciding to let up what he's earned this far in the race at all. He still wants that stage win. He still wants that slice of pie. That's clearly something that he's expected to have since he started this race, and he's been leading in first place almost since first lap 1. I don't think anybody else has led this race.
No, and across the stripe that time, though, it was Wembley by a hair to take lap 34. Coming through 1 and 2, Wembley with the advantage, but here comes Ginter swinging wide again with a huge shot down the back straightaway.
Oh, they are driving hard right now, trying to outdrive each other, still nearly door to door. The 3 down to the inside a little bit further, the 21 on the middle now. Ginter with good speed, keeping it door to door, not letting the 3 a little bit ahead of him there.
Oh, Wembley got real tight there on the bottom that time. About lost the nose, had to pedal it a little bit, but he's going to have a little bit of an advantage here. Ginter didn't get off the corner quite the way he wanted. Wembley pulls him back with a side draft into 1 and 2. Wembley to the bottom, but Ginter up to the top again. But I think Wembley's going to get him this time.
This is it. Pretty sure this is it. This is the 35th lap here.
And down the back straightaway, Charles Wembley with the advantage. Does Ginter have anything up his sleeve? It doesn't look like he does here. Tapers down to the bottom, trying to get clean under the nose, but it's too little, too late. Out of turn 4. Charles Wembley's going to take us across the stripe here to win stage 1.
And there it is. Wow, what a stage there as Patrick Ginter at the last minute gives up the crown for stage 1 to Charles Wembley. Jaden Hopp comes in third for the 1, 2, 3. Wembley, Ginter, and Hopp. And we are going to take a short break, folks. When we come back, we're going to have more racing here from Auto Club on the Naughty or Nice 300. So stay tuned.
Proudly offer top-tier liveries that showcase your unique style on the racetrack. Elevate your iRacing experience today with a stunning custom design that truly represents who you are and your passion for racing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Naughty or Nice 300. It's me, Joe LaCastro, up in the booth with Sheldon Adkins and Austin Derbyshire, and we are bringing you live racing on the iRacing service here from Auto Club Speedway. It's lap 38 of 150. You can see the pace car going around. We finished stage one, and your stage one winner, Charles Wembley, with a win at the last lap of stage one, comes around and just takes it from Patrick Gitter. But now it's Wembley and Gitter leading things off here in stage two.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a walk-off from Gitter there for that first stage, but Wembley definitely showing that he had a couple of extra aces up his sleeve here. A lot of pace there in that three machine. As these runs start to get longer, it's going to be really interesting to see who rises to the top. Got a bunch of fast cars here in this field. So far, these drivers put on an incredible show.
Yes, sir. We want to see who rises to the top. The cream rises to the top. That's what we're going to find out tonight.
Sound like Master Splinter if he fell down a flight of stairs.
Master Splinter, yeah, I taught him everything he knows. Yeah.
That must be his Uncle Paul.
Paul Splinter? Yeah, I've met him. Of the Cincinnati Splinters?
Or Chucky, you know, of the cheese rat variety. Uncle Randy.
Oh, my God.
Not to be confused with Randy Bobandy, of course.
Not to be confused. Oh, we do have some fun up here. I love it. We do have some fun. Right now, the real fun is about to start, though. And the real fun is down on the track where we've got another 29 drivers ready to go round and round and round and bring
Lead
you
us to it, you dirty
racing.
mustard tiger.
Let's do it. Here we are. There goes the pace car. We're about to get things started. Looking for Wembley and Gitter at the line. And there we go. We are green yet again here at the Naughty or Nice 300.
And Gitter gets an exceptional jump there on Wembley. Going to get the advantage here in a 1 and 2. But how hard is that three machine going to be pushing this time since he's only got one car to work past here? But hold on, because the 31 machine, a millet all over the back bumper here in a 1.
The millet's there. Let's not forget Jaden Hopp, the 81. Very, very hot car right now. Speaking of hot,
wide.
Whoa. Yeah, crazy situation back there. A hive of angry bees as we are 3 wide, 2 wide, 3 wide, all through the field. Auto Club's multi-groove racing is all becoming a prophecy come true here as we see the entire field spread out to cover the entire track almost through every turn.
One thing to note, too, look at how dark turns 1 and 2 are getting here. See all that rubber build up top to bottom, you know, season or two ago, it feel like you just barely see a little bit of shading on the asphalt. The way iRacing changed the way the tires react to the track surface here, it's going to get a whole lot darker before this thing's over, too.
That's right. Dynamic rubber now in the service is going to cause some situations that are going to change. And as those situations change over time, so will these drivers' capabilities to hold certain lines, and we are going to see all of that make this racing even more exciting and even more dynamic as time goes on. Love the simulation, and right now it's treating us right. Wiles in the 88, leading the 2x2 situation directly behind him. Matthew Taylor, Cole Fitzpatrick, both part of that 2x2 situation. The 64, that's Russell Black there, high on the outside.
Down to the bottom right now for 9th place, Jim Treat trying to take over the spot from the 70 machine. 70 machine driven by Aaron Smith. Across the stripe, Jim Treat's going to bring it in the 367 machine for that lap, and he's going to shut the door right in the face of Smith here into 1.
Just close enough. Yeah, Smith not able to really defend against that, unfortunately, but the door closed.
Smith tries to get the air off the spoiler. He's got him loose there. He saw the bobble.
He did,
Treat
yeah.
tells it, though, keeps the thing in line, and gets a little bit of help from the 37 machine of Kevin Zosiak here on the back straightaway.
He did. He bounced off the apron very briefly there, the 367 car. Almost lost it. That apron is dangerous here. It's not one you can make the transition very easily up and down from during the turn. It's just enough of bite that if you get the car loose, it will come up and you'll end up in the outside wall.
Look at the run that Daniel Wiles got there at a turn 4 that time. About a ½ inch off the fence. I don't think we've seen anybody that high all race long through 3 and 4. He's making his own lane there in that Team Conti Chevrolet.
That's a lovely Conti livery for the season also. Good colors on that car. Look at that, so close to the wall. He's got great knowledge of the vehicle there. Good knowledge of where he is on the road. Making massive use of the space he's got on the track.
Dub knows he's going high to make the passes. Then as soon as he gets clear of the car behind him, to cool those tires down and bring everything back to the right temp. He brings her back down to the bottom lane to try and cool it off, let the tires breathe a lap or two, then make another stab at it once you get to the back bumper of the machine in front of you. Great strategy work there from the 88.
Things are slowly starting to straighten out here, at least in the top 12 or 15 or so. Little bit of challenging going on. Right as I open my mouth, the 77 makes a jump out to the outside. That's Strunk. Let's see if he comes back down, though, once we get back into his straightaway. No, Strunk's still trying to make a pass here on Wembley.
Strunk trying to move himself up into second place, and the 77 machine's been charging since we dropped the green flag earlier. Definitely has a really stout piece for a short run, but it doesn't look like the long run pace has necessarily been there. Of course, a quick trip down pit road, maybe an adjustment fired at the car, and a little bit different philosophy. You see him get a big wiggle there. The air gets taken off the spoiler through 1 and 2. Chases down to the bottom of the track here. He's going to lose a whole lot of momentum and maybe a spot or two, but he keeps the thing in one piece, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Whoa, big switch up there for the 77. Jaden Hopp also in the 81 makes his move down the inside there. He's up 25 places. I want to keep an eye on this car right now. Jaden Hopp up 25 places, and he's making a challenge for Wembley now.
That is no easy task here. To run aboard with the 81 machine here into turn 1. Taking the peek down to the bottom. What you see there, he's not running the optimal line, but he's trying to keep cleaner to the nose. You see when the 3 machine of Wembley comes down in front of him there in center, the car kind of tightens up, kicks up a half a lane. That's what he's trying to prevent. But Wembley doing a great job mirror driving right now to try and hold him at bay. But Wembley looks like he's got a really good pace through corner center, and that's really translating to good launches down this front straightaway.
Here comes Hopp. He's looking for the outside. Doesn't have it. Is he going to be able to switch it up? No. Stays tucked in. That Toyota wants to chase down that Chevy real bad. He's the only one up here right now in the top. He's one of the only ones in the top 10 right now, and he's just got enough speed on the outside to be a threat here. Up to the wall. He's side by side with the 3. Can he make the pass? Yes, he does on the back straight. 81 Jaden Hopp is now your second place car.
Yeah, Wembley said if you want it so bad, go on ahead and take it. Cracks the throttle down the back straightaway. Let's hit 81 machine go. Wembley going to go right back to tire conservation mode here as Jaden Hopp tries to make a stab to get to your race leader, Patrick Gitter, who's only a couple car lengths away from second.
Right now, if we look a little further back, there is still some contention going on, still some shuffling around. That's the 367 of Jim Treat on the outside. Number 9 of Cole Fitzpatrick trying to make that pass there. Ooh, big wiggle out of Treat. He's going to maintain control, though. That was a tough one. Impressively done. But here comes Fitzpatrick on the inside. And the 44 on the outside of Matthew Taylor. Wow. Tree just got eaten alive, unfortunately. Damn.
That's all it takes here. With everybody so packed together in so many different lanes, one wiggle. You lose a whole bunch of spots.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we are on lap 50 right now, folks. Looking for 70 for our next stage finish before we take our next break. So we got another 20 laps to go, and these guys are taking us all the way there. Right now, that W44, Matthew Taylor, after making a nice pass on Jim Treat, he's going to go ahead and settle in just a little bit ahead of Cole Fitzpatrick.
We look at Daniel Wiles right now going out with the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner. Wiles down to the bottom, Rayner up on top of the hill. Wiles gets a little bit of wiggle down there in that bottom lane. It's going to help out with the 22 machine as he gets the run and surges on the back straightaway.
Everybody getting tucked back in for 3 and 4. Little bit of activity, but it looks like a lot of, we get a lot of single file racing on the straightaways, and then as soon as we get to those turns, that's where we see where people's lines really exist. Oh, that's not pretty. That was a big slam into the wall for the number 2 of Gabriel Andy.
You know what? I'm surprised it took us 52 laps to see somebody tag the fence like that, though, because it used to be back in the day, you'd come here to Auto Club. One guy would go into turn 3. They'd miss it a little bit. The guy behind him would be judging turn 3 on the guy in front of them. The next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 cars all slamming the fence on the front straightaway.
Yes, sir.
Look at this gaggle of cars right here. And this is a situation nobody wants to be in. You want to get that clean air. Just so difficult to get to it sometimes.
Yep, and
especially at a track like this.
And if you can't find it, you end up just feeling trapped. The frustration starts to build a little bit, I think.
And it's so easy for any of these guys to overstep the limit just a little bit, trying to make a pass or build a run to make a pass, and either send that car around or get locked up in somebody's dirty air, burn the tires up. So he's right on board with the 24 machine of Randy Samples. He rips to the top here into turn 3 to try and get by the 34 machine of Dallas Fridley. And Fridley slides up. They almost make contact. Fridley going to have to check out of it here and lose a little bit of ground. Here comes the 60 machine diving to the inside here out of 4. Jacob Bradley's on the tear.
Bradley looking good. The 60 down to the inside. He's down 8 from where he started. He's on the 19th right now. Just trying to stay cracked into that top 20. Big 3 wide situation there, very briefly there, but we had it happening. Bradley looking to make it happen again.
Oh, the 14's tight there on the bottom.
He is, with that 34 is a little bit too fast. Dallas Fridley is just a little bit too fast to let that situation go 3 wide.
He's really close to calamity there for a second.
Close, yes, sir, but not close enough. Right now, here we go with Ryan Gillette. Gillette right now has been kind of bouncing around a little bit, but he's been sitting around the 21st position for a little while. He moved up a little bit during this race, but I think he found himself settling back down here. Right now he's sitting 21st, up 2 back from where he started. Looking good in the 14. But he's blocked off completely by Fridley and Bradley in front of him.
One thing, it's surprising me how nice these guys have played with each other here tonight.
Yeah, it's true. I don't want to be the I was worried one of us was going to say it first, but they've been driving pretty clean. It's been a lot of good racing, and it's fun because it's been good and competitive while still being clean, and that's the perfect chef's kiss. Oh, speaking of which,
great track. Oh no!
Chef's kiss! Chef's kiss! Oh, what have I done?
That was the chef's kiss of death there for the 34 machines. You see him backed up against the fence here in the 1. That's pretty heavy contact with the outside fence.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, boy. Yeah, okay. I asked for that one. I said, can you serve this one up for me, please? Just serve it up on a silver platter. And there it is. I don't know what would have possessed Fridley to move down at that point, so I'm not exactly sure what happened here, aside from maybe Gillette moved up a little
close
bit.
there, and Gillette just tags the quarter panel a little bit, trying to get that side draft to pull that machine back. You know, break the momentum a little bit, and well, you grab a little more than just the arrow on the spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just trying to grab enough of a side draft, but I think that it was just one good. He was just way too close. Just a bad read on the side draft, unfortunately.
And that's a hard thing to figure out. You know, it looks so simple on that roof camera that we just showed there. It's like, oh well, you know, he could see that he was about to hit him. When you're in the car, though, you don't necessarily see that right front quarter panel the way you want to. They've got a big, the way the A-pillar sits in these cars is kind of a blind spot, combined with all the roll cage tubing and everything that's over there. You're more so guessing than anything, depending on how you have your seat placed. And there you go. There's that big old roll bar. Kind of makes it awkward to judge sometimes where exactly you have that right front placed. And it's a mistake that unfortunately a lot of us have made throughout the years, because you got to be aggressive to get the job done here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a little too much, and also he maybe thought that he might have been clear there too.
Yeah, I'm fully. It really feels like I want to give the benefit of the doubt here to Gillette, and just say it was a matter of a miscalculation. It was clearly nothing malicious, obviously, just a racing incident. And the spin was bad, but no one else was involved. He didn't have a really hard wall slam, so hopefully we're going to see him back out on the track after a repair. We'll get him back out here, but that was about That was about the kind of wreck I expected to see. You know, just two cars getting into each other, and thankfully not involving anybody else.
Yeah, it's lucky that happened at this point in the run instead of at the start of the run, because at the start of the run, that'd have been absolute calamity. But,
yeah.
It's one car spinning. You hate to see it, but at the end of the day, a little bit of no harm, no foul. Plenty of time to get repairs here for everybody and get back out there and take another stab at it to bring it home tonight.
Yep. And that's what we're going to hope is going to happen here, as we've got at least one more to go here. Going around, getting things steady here at Auto Club. Folks, we've been talking a little bit about the liveries on the cars tonight. Who's your favorite? We want to see up there in the chat who's liking what look on the cars here. We've got the Peanuts car, we've got the Elf car, we've got the Team Conti car with the wreath on it, we've got the Team Conti car without the wreath on it. We've got we've got quite a few different looks here across the field, all trying to vie for the place of most festive or most thematically appropriate. There we go, Zodiac looking good with the snowman car. That's Kevin Zodiac in the 37. Merry Christmas right there in the back. Oh, that's nice. Merry Chrysler.
Happy holidays.
I like the Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. We got the Grinch livery too. Santa. Yeah, all of them are out here tonight. I see some.
It's Buddy the Elf for me, man.
It's Buddy the Elf. I like the naughty and nice arrows on the back of one car.
Look at that. The Grinch made a second appearance here, sponsoring Michael Waltrip in the 15 machine. Oh, that's not Michael Waltrip. Same font, though. They're in the same door number this year, actually, because it's about to look good on a Toyota.
Got some love for Randy Sample in the chat right now. Loving the Grinch on the 15, says Mechanic Joe. That is impressive. That is impressive. Oh my goodness. The things we're doing with computers these days, that's true. That's true. The difference between difference between the Grinch and Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt started with the big heart, and the Grinch had to earn his through the events of the Grinch Stole Christmas. There goes the pace car. We're getting things started. It's Jaden Hopp and Patrick Gitter out in the front right now. Green, green, green. Here we go, go, go. On the Naughty or Nice 300, we're back in action.
And really good launch again for Patrick Gitter. Going to clear a couple car links now here in a 1 and 2 as we see Charles Wembley go toe-to-toe here with Hopp. We saw Wembley saving tires on that last run, or that last stint out of this run. Going to be interesting to see how much that pays off here, because I'm pretty sure for him now it's go time, because we are 10 laps away from the stage.
That's right. This is where Wembley turned it up last time, last stage. Remember, he was the stage 1 winner, taking the win from Patrick Gitter on the last lap of the stage 1, and so Charles Wembley is one to watch out for right now. With him within stone's throwing distance, within stone's throwing distance of first place, he can make that push and take the second stage as well, very easily.
Look at the field here, everybody desperate to get themselves up into position here for the stage. A 2-3 wide racing. You see the 15 machine struggling up there on the outside line, almost up into the fence. 64 breathing down his neck.
Oof, that was close. Saw a little bit of smoke there. Not pretty. Touch of a checkup, maybe.
3 wide into 3. Russell Black going to lose the momentum here and lose a couple spots in the process, because here comes a 24 machine at Randy Sample around the top.
Wow, everybody's head is on a swivel right now. Fantastic driving, though. The 22 falling back a little bit. Rayner not quite able to find the speed that he wants on the inside. They're high on the outside, the number 6, making fast moves now.
By the way, that Hortus test we were just covering, that's for 14th on back. That's mid-pack. Nobody's cutting any brakes here.
Kevin West now in 6th place. Your former pole position driver doing very, very good. Still looking for that top 5 if he can get it.
Oh, let's go get dicey here.
3 wide right there. 3 wide in front, too. We got 2 3 wide situations briefly.
Well, Fitzpatrick working the inside line. Remember, he was backwards through the grass to start this thing off tonight. That 9 machine working himself back up into the top 10 here as he sets his sights on the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick was definitely one of the first ones that we saw with a racing, not exactly really an incident. It was just it looked like a self-spin down to the inside. But he got a little bump. He took a little bump and ended up back on the inside of the grass, came back out, kept it straight, did not throw the yellow on that. And now he's crawled his way back up to 9th, so definitely a good drive on the 9th so far for Fitzpatrick. We're on lap 65, folks, looking for 70. Remember to get to the end of this lap, this stage, excuse me, so we just have a little bit further to go, and then we'll see who takes home stage 2.
Slider. Fitzpatrick just cleared 2 cars from the bottom and just about got himself hooked off the nose of the 88 machine there.
Wow, and that on that camera angle, Sheldon, you could see how bumpy this track can be in certain points too, and just how unsmooth this track can be at certain points. There is not a lot of stability there coming out of 3, very high on the outside, and having to be able to find that stability is a matter of skill. These guys have been doing a fantastic job so far tonight, and I'm looking forward to watching that continue.
Well, when they tore this track down, it had been the same track surface that they poured when they opened the facility up in 1996, 97. And the whole reason that it did get torn down was because they had to do a repave, so they figured they'd knock it down and make a short track out of it, and then local government made that impossible. But, see one car tag the fence here out of turn 4.
Yeah, that's Zodiac, man. That's Kevin Zodiac. Big hit for the 37 into the outside wall as he goes 3 wide right now with the 44 down on the inside. Matthew Taylor. And Bryce Rayner on the outside.
Look at Cole Fitzpatrick just carving through him right now. Big slide on the back straightaway. The 44 machine almost goes for a ride.
Wow. Taylor now staying down low on the inside best he can, avoiding the situation ahead of him. Ooh, door to door, the 24.
That's not going to be pretty.
And the 15.
There was a couple Code Brown moments there that time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I thought they were much closer than that, and we both thought that was going to end up a lot worse than it did. But thankfully it did not right now. Let's check in with Zodiac, who took that hit to the outside wall. He's still working with Jacob Bradley. Bradley seeing if he can make a pass on the outside. There he goes.
Looks like he's going to be able to make that pass pretty clean.
Yes, sir.
Well, up at the front right now, Fitzpatrick has worked himself up into the 4th position. Jaden Hopp falls back to Charles Wembley. Jaden Hopp now sitting 3rd. Wembley takes over the 2nd spot. And does Wembley have the time now to get to the back bumper of that 21 Fortis machine of Patrick Gitter?
Not with only 1 lap to go, unfortunately. I don't think he'll have the time. Hopp in 3rd. Lots of speed out of that car, but just not enough. Cole Fitzpatrick, 5th in your top 5.
I'm just impressed at the pace of that 9 machine. We saw the big slide earlier. We know how difficult it is to get through traffic here at Auto Club. Yes, it's multi-group, but you've got everybody, filling each groove they possibly can. Really doesn't give you many options on what you can do when you're further in the back, especially with the dirty air. I'd be able to pull that thing all the way from the tail end of the field up to 4th here in this 2nd stage. Impressive. As we see Patrick Gitter come across the stripe here, take us to 1 lap to go in the stage.
That's right, Gitter leading things here, but look who that is on the inside. It's Wembley. He's less than a half second. He's less than 3/10 of a second behind. I don't know if he'll have the speed, though, to make it here as we approach 3 and 4.
Lovely Charlie going to try those. He comes into 3, sends it all the way down to the bottom of the track here. Gitter opting for the middle lane. A bit of a stall up there in center for Gitter. Gives Wembley an opportunity to close the gap a little bit. But out of turn 4, it's not going to be enough across the stripe for stage 2. It's going to be the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter bringing it home.
And I believe that was... Yep. There's the caution.
There's stage yellow.
All right. Patrick Gitter.
Did we both get nervous there?
We both got a little nervous. You can sense that in the air, but I made sure I read the number right. I know what I'm doing. We got 70 laps up, 70 down here, folks, and that's going to be it for Stage 2. Your Stage 2 winner, Patrick Gitter, leading Charles Wembley, who was your Stage 1 winner, and there's a big question mark for who's going to bring home Stage 3, because we still got another 80 laps to go, and when we get to the end of it, we are going to crown a champion here on the Naughty or Nice 300. But right now, let's get our legs stretched, refill that hot cocoa, get some fresh marshmallows for it, and join us for some more racing tonight here at Auto Club. We'll be right back.
Proudly offer top-tier liveries that showcase your unique style on the racetrack.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ho, 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 ho! Welcome back, everybody! It's me, Santa Claus, calling the Naughty or Nice 300 with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire. Ho, ho, ho! Joe couldn't make it. He's been naughty. And now I'm taking over the broadcast.
Oh no. So who's getting cold this year, Santa?
Ho, ho! Who's getting cold this year? Well, let me see. My list is right here. Sheldon, you've definitely made the naughty list this year. A metric ton of coal to be shipped to your house. And it says here that Karen is on the nice list this year.
Bull. Ain't no way.
But oh, here comes Joe.
Yeah, I'm back. Santa, he had to leave. And,
Metric ton of coal. That weighs more than my house. I'll just live in the coal.
You could probably sell it and get a decent amount for it, I'm guessing.
Honestly, actually, a metric ton of coal doesn't sound that bad now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think most of us would love a commodity these days. We have the option to get some for Christmas. There goes the pace car. Stage 3 is about to start. Let's do it. Here we go. Green flag is waving, and we are green yet again here on the Naughty or Nice 300. Okay, so maybe you wouldn't make a ton of money. $300 is pretty good, though. It's better than $0 for a metric ton of coal. As we watch the race kick off here, looks like Patrick Gitter got a great launch yet again. Wembley right behind him, but right behind them, Jaden Hopp and Cole Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, we've mentioned several times during the race tonight. He's had a storied event so far. He was into the grass earlier, and now he's way up in the front, again in the top 5 pretty securely. But Jaden Hopp really giving everybody a run for their money tonight. He's the hardest charger, up 25 places.
It's gonna get dicey right here. You see these cars packed bumper to bumper here. We've been talking about that aero loose situation here tonight. When you get somebody packed to you like that, that could turn chaotic here pretty quick, especially on these cold tires.
That's very true. That's very true. And these cold tires now, well, they're going to have plenty of chance to warm up because we're not going to have another break in the action that's programmed into the action until the very end here, which means we are going to see some green flag pit stops during this stage.
That's going to be exciting to see as we see it right now. But the front of the pack, though, the 9 machine starting to make his presence known. He goes to the outside of Cole Fitzpatrick goes to the outside of Charles Wembley. And Cole Fitzpatrick going to take over the second spot now and set his sights to Patrick Gitter up there at the point.
Hey, if he wants to drive his car. Oh, go ahead.
Remember, big spin on lap 1, spent the entire first stage mired back in traffic and slowly cut his way through. Now he's sitting here with a whole bunch of speed.
It's very true. It's very true. Now but where's he getting that speed from, Sheldon? Like, what price is he paying? What iron price is he paying for this speed? Because it feels like it doesn't just come from nowhere.
Get that run, though. Goes to the outside here. Builds a nice run to surge down the back straightaway. You see him cut all the way down to the bottom of the track, trying to avoid the side draft off the 21 machine. Doesn't want to get pulled back himself. Wants to take a clean stab into turn 3 and take the lead, and he's going to do it. Cole Fitzpatrick from 0 to hero. And it took him 78 laps to get there, but leading here at Auto Club.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a hero's journey right there. 78 laps to get there is right. From dead last to first place, leading the race now, taking it at the line, leading a lap from Patrick Gitter. Gitter now content just to let this up, I think, at this point, because he knows he's going to stay out front, but he needs to stay competitive because right behind him, there is a lot of competition. Now, who is that down on the inside of the one car with the blue stripe on him there? I want to make sure I get eyes on that car because he's been the only one who hasn't really gotten in line per se.
So one thing too, we're also getting that into them later stages of the race. You know, we just crossed the line for lap 80. Most open races here in official are typically over at this point. This would be the white flag for most open races here at Auto Club or Michigan. You know, pretty short dashes in comparison, and by this point in most of the open races, a lot of these drivers are pretty worn out because, you know, we see all these bumps, these cars bouncing around. You know, it's not like the B car where, you know, you have the soft springs to kind of take a little bit of the load out of the steering wheel and make it a little more easy and tolerable. These cars are pretty much stiff all the way to the boards here. I'm sure before too long, some of these guys with the force feedback setting up a little too high, gonna be pretty worn out before too long.
Yeah. Yeah, your hands are going to start to get, your shoulders, your pectorals, all of that gets really tight, really tense, the more you have to fight force feedback. And the way I know some of these guys drive is they crank that force feedback up all the way. And they've got really, really strong feedback that they're fighting constantly. It's like it is a workout, folks. You know, if you guys are watching at home and you've never sat down on a sim rig and tried to do some oval racing even more than road racing, I think especially, you really got to lock in these muscles and just treat them and you know, treat the car with some serious respect. And these guys, they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, well, my biggest problems is always death grip the wheel. On a track like this where it's, you know, where it's real rough and jagged, you know, slight touch is what you really all you need. But by the time I get halfway through, my wrists are absolutely killing me because I've been hanging on for dear life.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to tell yourself mentally, you know, let go of the wheel, unclench your fists, or relax a little bit. But
I don't know about letting go of the wheel.
Yeah, don't want to let go.
Do not look. If anybody's driving home tonight or driving anywhere tonight or during the holiday season, do not listen to Joe when he says to let go of the wheel.
Okay, all right, yeah, you're fair.
That is the last decision you. Well, I would say it's the last decision you want to make, but it's probably the last decision you'll ever make.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely don't let go of the wheel, for the love of God.
I gotta watch my phrasing. It's true. I gotta watch my phrasing. But you definitely got to relax. I think that was the message here. You got to relax when you're driving. Don't drive tense. Don't drive mad.
Who was that? Stunts, trained professionals, don't attempt at home or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. Well, here we go. Woo! The one of Kevin West getting a little loose there. Now falling back and just losing place after place. Getting shuffled into the deck. Let's see what happened here. Watch the one. He's right behind Wembley. Wembley, our former race leader. Remember, he won stage 1. Ooh, big slidey slide for West. Almost down across pit road there. Not quite into the grass, but that is going to cost him quite a lot.
So one thing, you slide like that, though, coming out of turn 4 here at Auto Club, and your heart stops for a minute because it feels like every time you spin out coming onto this front straightaway here, you somehow find your way hitting that pit attenuator. And when you hit that wall like that, man, it destroys the car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just a wedge. You're just driving into the side of the car. Especially because if you're sliding, you're gonna hit it sideways.
And you also run a risk too hitting that thing here of getting stuck in the barrels. And that is a miserable place to be because you cannot get the car out of there.
Ugh. Ugly.
Oh, big slide for Fitzpatrick up here at the front. Almost loses it. Loses the lead, though, in the process. Here comes Gitter and company as the 6 machine of Millet works the top line as well to pass him.
What did I tell ya? Some type of price is being paid here. And I think he's paying it in rubber. That's what I think. I think that Fitzpatrick paid the price for first place in rubber. And now we're going to see exactly what we mean. Look for the slide here. Here it comes in the way back machine. Zoom! What a move.
I don't know. I don't know if that was pushing too hard or if that was a little bit of an arrow pull off of the 21 machine to yank him around like that. But impressive job to keep the thing pointed in the right direction, because that could have been a huge incident there. But for Fitzpatrick, you know, it's one of the things you got to remember, too. You know, you get up to the front of the pack. You spent the entire first half of the race driving in dirty air, in traffic.
Yep.
And when you're running back there, the car's tight, and you just keep trying to free the thing up. Just give yourself an extra, 2-3% cross weight. Try to free that car up a little bit since you're a little bit better in the traffic. And it's great, but once you finally get to the destination, once you carve through all those cars, you get up there to the lead, you get the clean air to the nose, and you get all that rotation, all that downforce shoved back on the front of that car, and it wants to snap you quick. And there's just no bracing yourself for it, really. You can tell yourself a million times under the caution, all right, I'm up front, we're in clean air, the car's going to be free now. And until you go out there and do it, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. 15. And the 34 of Dallas Fridley. 34 makes his way just a little bit ahead there. And that 15, that's Joseph Sullivan.
There was another big wobble there, too, through 1 and 2 for the 9 machine. Just going completely backwards here on this run now as he falls back into the clutches of 5th place. Working the outside line. Here comes Wembley taking a look to the bottom, though. But Fitzpatrick gets a good run through 3 and 4. He's going to dive back down, try and take back 3rd place away from the 77 sheet of Strunk, and he's got it here at the line.
There at the line, Cole Fitzpatrick zooming his way up towards 2nd and 1st, again trying to be competitive here, and he has been competitive all night. We've seen Fitzpatrick bounce back from even tougher situations than he's been in right now, but what caused the situation he's in was his own driving, as far as we could tell, potentially. So there's a good chance that he's just trying to outdrive himself tonight, and that his real rival is the man behind the wheel.
It just looks to me like that car's a little bit on edge here up at the front of the pack. Carved through traffic really quick, which leads me to believe he's got a freer race car than a lot of these guys have brought here today. Next pit stop, probably come down, play with the tire pressures a little bit, try to reduce stagger in that rear tire, or make a little wedge adjustment here to free the thing up. But you got to be careful with that with this next-gen car, too, though, because you do that, and there's a strong probability that you find a way to stick the thing on the diffuser rakes. And once that happens, it's a nightmare because you're just going around no matter what.
Side by side right now. Jaden Hopp on the outside. Hopp falling back a little bit to 6th place. He's still one of the best racers we've got in terms of places made up tonight, but he's going to sit comfortably. But now Jaden Hopp down to the inside trying to make a pass on Wembley. I think it's for him. Yep, Hopp's done it. He's made the pass on Wembley, moves forward one more spot to 4th place.
Jaden Hopp's been one that's been lurking around up here at the front of the pack. Put together a pretty good run here in that 81 machine.
Here we go. Some more competition going on here. That's the 60 of Jacob Bradley. Trying to watch Bryce Reiner go there. He's just behind the 77. Ryan Strunk. A lot of movement in the field right now. Jeremy Long in that 97. Love the paint scheme on that 97, by the way. It looks really slick. Jeremy Long there leads this little pack. And he's also going to be trying to make the pass on Wembley. Wembley has lost a little bit of his momentum, his speed. Ouch! That's, Long's not going to be able to make the pass with bouncing like that, unfortunately. That's not going to help his speed at all. Here we go, side by side, 77, the 88. Daniel Wiles, Ryan Strunk down the backstretch. One of the only two wide situations we really have going on here. The two wide situation has changed. The 77 falls back, and now he's too wide with West. Very close right now. A little bit of side drafting from West potentially if he can get the speed. Nothing. Little wiggle, but that's about it. Very close still. They're side by side. West wants that place back. Ooh, massive blink from a car ahead. But they're still side by side. Strunk. West. Looking good, but nope. Strunk's going to fall back yet again. This time to challenge Zodiac. West has been unfortunately losing the arm wrestling matches that he's been having as one car after another has been pretty methodically but not quickly making their way past him here. And up at front, Zach Millett. He's challenging the 21. Look at that. Patrick Gitter down to the inside. Gitter is now once again leading this race, just trying to focus on his line as he's done so far. But behind him, Millett is getting ready to make that pass. He looks like he's signaling, but not quite close enough to break away yet. We might see it here as we come out of 1 and 2. And he closed the gap. And right behind them, pretty good sized gap. Cole Fitzpatrick and Jaden Hopp. Fitzpatrick high to the outside. Hopp down to the inside now. He's going to take the line that Gitter's using. Hopp's got it.
Yeah, right now Fitzpatrick just desperately trying to hang on after the big slide he had a handful of laps ago. You know, those tires are absolutely hurt, and especially when you look at where he's run on the track, that 9 machine run that outside lane right now. It's because he does not want to get down to that bottom, because when you got a loose race car, and you see it right there, he tries to get to the bottom here through 1 and 2. The back end just wants to hop out from under you when you come out on the corner exit. And a good save there from the 9 machine, but definitely hoping for a caution to come out sooner rather than later so you can come down and maybe throw an adjustment or two at the machine.
Yeah, that might be the only thing that can save him at this point in terms of using the car correctly on the track conditions, would be being able to do that kind of adjustment. And right now, he's not going to get that chance as we're on lap 98, looking for the triple digits here in just a couple laps. Patrick Gitter, Zach Millett, and Jaden Hopp, your 1, 2, 3 right now here at Auto Club.
And Millett is lurking right now on Patrick Gitter. You see the 88 machine tag the fence a little bit there through 1 and 2, losing some momentum. But Millett slowly closing his way into the back bumper of that 21 machine. See him right now just prioritizing the clean air, working about a half lane up from the rear bumper of the 21 machine.
What's it going to be side by side? Fitzpatrick with the pass on Wembley. Can he close the door? Not quite. Wembley is going to challenge him back on the inside.
Wembley going to pull a slide job here out of turn 2, take over that spot, hold that 9 machine back here down the back straightaway. It feels like every time I look up, Millett has just found himself closer and closer to Gitter.
Yeah, I kind of get that feeling too. Every time we check in on that situation, it feels like Millett is just poised and sort of like the cat about to jump on its its prey.
On the Christmas tree?
Exactly, just poised. We just got that little wiggle
Oh,
in the just getting ready, calculating, and we're gonna wait and see. I think he's gonna even make his leap at some point here before too long, as we are now on lap 100, triple digits here, 50 laps to go. We'll see.
I don't know. Let's hope the cat don't jump on the Christmas tree, because I've seen that firsthand numerous times in my life, and it never ends well.
Yeah.
It normally ends up with Mama throwing a crock at the cat.
Side by side here, the 64, the 44. That's Taylor and Black. Taylor up 6, Russell Black down 6. Both have got a little something to prove here in terms of trying to make the moves and get into that top 10 if they can. But first, they got to get past each other.
Easier said than done here. Because that's the problem with multi-groove racing. You know, you got so many different options to choose from, but that means that those options are balanced. The top line can be just as good if run properly as the bottom line, and vice versa. Which really makes it hard for some of these guys to really make the passes.
Yeah, that's a good point. As we see here up at the front, now we do have a pretty good amount of gap forming on the field. Things are stretching out. Whoa, look at that. The 0-1 of Kevin West making a heck of a slide there. Good move. As we're still too wide back here. The 60 of Jacob Bradley high on the outside. Whoa, very close now to the inside wall. Kevin Zosiak in the back there, just trying to avoid getting caught up, but still trying to stay up to speed.
Also, while all that was happening, the 81 machine of Jaden Hopp made a last-second power move to get past the 31 machine, or sorry, the 6 machine of Zach Millett. Jaden Hopp has now moved himself up in second place.
Wow. Jaden has been driving just an incredible drive. Here's a little replay action. What's going on here?
Right there, that's a good sign. That 81 machine's got some good long run pace too, to be able to tack it down on the bottom of the track like that at this point in the tires and be able to make it stick and make the pass. Comes crunch time. If you get a little bit closer to Patrick Gitter, that could definitely be the car to beat.
That could indeed. That could indeed. Now out here in front, Gitter just putting on a show, but the 70 down pit road, one of the first pit stops we've seen so far, Aaron Smith.
Ooh. And look at how high on the track the 6th place runner Jeremy Long is right now. He came through 1 and 2 that time. I thought he was stuck in the fence. It's just how close he's running to it. See him run high there through 3 and 4. A little bit more shallow than what he did in 1-2 last lap. But Long finding a different lane here, and it looks like it's paying off. Running pretty well here in the 6th spot. Let's see if he does it again here through 1 and 2. Yes, he does. Just about pushing the edge of the marbles here at Auto Club.
Oof. Yeah, he really is. And is it paying off? I mean, I guess it kind of is. Jeremy Long now sitting exactly where he started this race at 6th place. He's moved up and he's moved down a little bit, but he's managed to stay competitive, mostly using this high outside line that we've seen so far.
It's getting him huge runs down the straightaway, but here's the thing. Bottom line starting to come back a little bit too. As you see the door get shut, his face nowhere for Long to go. Has to back out of the throttle. Nearly picks the tires up off on the 9 machine in front of him. These two are going to pull a little bit of 2-car tango here through 1 and 2.
That was close.
Down to the bottom of the track. Here comes Bryce Rayner in the 22 machine. Going to try and get the 2-for-1 special here. Not going to be enough, but he at least gets past one of them as he puts the machine along behind him. Now Rayner going to dive to the bottom here into 3 and 4. I think it's going to be a pretty quick pass.
Oh, and look who's coming down from the high line. Abandoning the high line there. That was Jeremy Long. But then the number 2 now. Heading down pit road. Gabriel Andy.
Somebody we haven't talked about any today, but one of your first pitters here under this run.
Getting that early pit strategy in. That could be the key to finishing this race. We are at lap 107. So we're sitting at about 44 laps to go.
Tell you what, man, this thing has flown by so far. A lot of good green flag racing this evening.
Absolutely. Really fantastic stuff. As we see more side-by-side racing, the 44 and the 64. It's been clean. It's been respectful. Every time I say that, something happens, I better shut up.
Please, yeah. You harp on it, and then as soon as you do, somebody's upside down and into the Jumbotron.
It's not my fault. I just see the positive in most things. There we go. 15:59. Heading around Matthew Carabina, a name we have not yet spoken on the broadcast. He's in 21st right now, up 1 from where he started. Carabina looking good in his livery tonight, but still out in front. It's Gitter.
Most people put the Christmas tree on the roof and they bring it back, but Carabina's got a thing sitting on the hood.
Heck yeah.
He's all over the back bumper. Vincent Short, as we look a little bit further up the pack. And Gitter all the way down to the bottom of the track here is signaling to pit, maybe? Definitely breaking draft here because it's way too wide of an arc through 3 and 4 to be able to bring it down pit road.
Maybe, let's see now. Gitter leading it at the line. Ooh, side by side. Behind him there, Zach Millett, 31, trying to make the pass now on Wembley.
That's Wembley trying to get past there. Wembley down to the bottom through 1 and 2. He's just been lurking back there, saving tires, saving fuel. He makes a good clean slide job through 1 and 2, takes the spot away from the 6 machine of Millett. On the back straightaway, Wembley back up to 3rd.
Wembley's been someone that over the course of the night has been he saves his can of energy, his energy tank for the exact right moment. And then when it's right, he cracks it. And suddenly we're calling Wembley in the top 5. We're calling Wembley in the top 3. So he's been a name that I've been watching tonight that I've very much enjoyed watching so far. Zach Millett has also been doing a fantastic job tonight. A couple of names that have just been competitive all evening long here. Cole Fitzpatrick, I want to give a shout out there too to that drive from last.
Oh, one
0
car
to
round
hero,
out of turn 2, spinning up into the inside wall. It's the 2 machine of Gabriel Andy. Heavy contact, and no caution's going to come out from that one.
Ooh. Oh, look at that car. He's super beat up.
Also, do want to note, too, disappointing that Trading Paints didn't necessarily want to work with us here. That is a Miller Lite paint scheme. Brad's old Christmas sweater car that he's got on there.
Yeah. I do see that there.
But it's an ugly Christmas sweater now for sure. As you see, the toe is completely knocked down the 2 machine. Just gets up into the marbles a little bit, loses touch with the back end of the car. Around she goes, and hard hit to the left side there on the back straightaway wall.
Darn shame after that big self spin. And we've seen that hit a couple of cars tonight too. Not the hard hit into the wall, but we've seen that slide hit a couple of cars now. And I have a feeling we're going to be seeing it more and more.
Grinch coming down pit road here. The 15 machine of Joseph Sullivan taking a last-second dive down pit road to get his 4 tires and fuel. He's going to be followed by the 50 machine of Brian Ruzzi. See a good clean entry for both machines here.
All right. Here we go out in front here on lap 114. Things are stretching out a little bit, almost a full second now between Patrick Gitter and Jaden Hopp. What was once a very, very crunched up lead here, where all the cars were all very, very close to each other, has started to spread out a little bit, as there's almost a second between Gitter and Hopp, almost a second between Hopp and Wembley. And then the theme repeats the theme between Wembley and Millet, Millet to Reiner. We're seeing gaps of increasing length here, folks, as the race goes on. Lap 115 again, down to the inside. Well, we got a bunch more cars pitting in now. I think that we might be seeing the official start of pitting season.
See Strunk and Taylor coming down pit road here for their last stop of the evening.
That's right. I want to see Gitter. I want to see when Gitter makes his final stop of the evening. I think that's when we're going to see the rest of them all make that decision, and I think that's when it'll officially be on.
Hey, Gitter out there at the front of the pack, though. He'll stay out as long as he probably can.
That's true. Very true. Very true. And it looks like, with everybody having pit back on lap 72, when we had the last yellow brought out by the end of stage 2, we have a lot of different. We have a couple of different strategies coming in here. We have people who have pit at 109, 107. People who pit at 114, almost 10 laps later. So there's a lot of different strategies that are at play, and people are kind of stretching things out a little bit. Now we're at the lap 116.
Here we go. Here comes Gitter.
All right. Woo! Has to get it down to the wire, but I'm pretty sure he made it. Patrick Gitter, your race leader now, down, getting some tires on, getting some gas to finish this. Jaden Hopp's going to slide into the lead for now. It's only a matter of moments, I think, before Hopp decides he wants to stay competitive with Gitter. He's going to need to get that thing down pit road ASAP.
Absolutely. The rest of the majority of the field coming down as well.
It's about that time. We see another 4 cars come down. There's still another 10 cars out.
Jaden Hopp staying out.
All right. Hopp stays out. This is the time to push it if you're in the lead.
This might be interesting because if these guys overcut, they get the number right, they're going to have a lot more speed at the back end of the run compared to Gitter.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much time they lose by staying out on these old tires, though. That's going to be the determining factor. But you give Hopp and Wembley cars with the ability to be on the offense all the way through the run. That could be pretty deadly for the rest of the field here.
Well, Wembley just called in on the radio and said that he's pitting in next time, so he's going to be dropping off and burning off a little speed here as he tries to get that car down pit road.
He's coming in this time. Here, look at him.
Mm-hmm. There goes Jaden Hopp. He sails away right now.
22 machine. Bryce Rayner coming down as well to get his 4 tires and Sunoco fuel.
4 tires, Sunoco fuel. That leaves just there's only 4 cars left.
The sample.
Yep. Just 4 cars left in the rotation right now to get through pit lane. Hopp, long, Treat, short. All verb names. Oh no, verbs. Yeah,
that
verbs is short. You can short someone.
That was uncalled for. Thanks, man. I can't help it.
What have we got? 119. 119, which is funny because a long is an adjective and not a verb. But let's not dwell too much on my inability to grasp grammar. Let's dwell more importantly.
Was that a?
What's up?
Was that a long hop for a short treat?
Hey, I like that. Let's go with that, folks. I like that. And speaking of which, Hop down pit road now, which leaves Long. He's going to come down as well. Only 2 left in the rotation. And we just want to see.
I'm sticking with commentary. Comedy's definitely not the pick. As the 81 machine just barely makes it into the pit box. No, he does miss the box. Jaden Hopp overshoots his pit box here on the most important stop of the night. And it took him a while to get that sequential gear shift down into reverse, so he loses a bunch of time there.
Really unfortunate. But we still got 2 guys out who are representing the original set of tires from lap 72's pit stop. That's Vincent Short and Jim Treat. But here's Patrick Gitter. He's trying to work his way back up right now. Patrick Gitter is in third. And as soon as Short and Treat head down pit road, it's going to be Patrick Gitter back out in front. But in the meanwhile, Jim Treat and Vincent Short are leading things. And speaking of which, Vincent Short down pit road. Just going to bring in Jim Treat with him.
Gitter with a 3-second lead over the closest car to him in tires. That's going to be Wembley. But remember, Wembley's on a couple lap fresher Goodyears than him. It's going to be interesting to see how this tire balance shifts for these two. Because remember, Wembley was really good on these long runs. And you can couple that with the fact that he's on a little bit fresher tire here. That could be a problem for Gitter.
All right. And we're on with lap 122 going around right now. And with Patrick Gitter out just a few seconds ahead, we're still waiting on Jim Treat to come down pit road to cap things off here in the pit stop rotation. But Jim Treat is trying to set a record right now with how far he can get out, because like you said, he wants to overcut a little bit. He wants to have the best tires on the track as late in the game as he possibly can, which means he's going to hold on to this lead as long as he can. He is still 14 seconds ahead of Patrick Gitter. And right now, before Jim Treat makes that decision, we are going to make a decision. We are going to head out, get a breath of fresh air, stretch those legs, and get right back into it for the last couple of laps here of the Naughty or Nice 300. Coming to you live from Auto Club. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
Proudly offer top-tier liveries.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey folks, we are back on the Naughty or Nice 300 here. It's me, Joe LaCastro, Jolo up in the booth with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire, and we are calling the rest of this race. We're on lap 128 of 150, so we're almost down to the last 20 laps of this race, and it has been a barn burner. Right now, Patrick Gitter is out in front, Wimbley and Millet behind him.
And yeah, it has been an absolutely incredible race here. These guys now just locked into that final strategy. Just about 20 laps to go here. Patrick Gitter trying to run away with it. But remember, Wimbley Millet, slightly fresher tires, trying to reel your race leader in.
And let's see if he can pull it off here. We've got just a little bit of race left, but the strategy is over. The time for green flag strategy is done. Now it's a matter of just seeing who managed to make it work for them the best. We had a lot of green flag pit stopping. The whole field came down, and the person who stayed out the longest in this case and waited the longest, well, that was brain fart for a second. Who was it who stayed out for the longest? At this time, Jim Treat. Jim Treat stayed out till lap 123, and now he's sitting back in 21st. He's got a ways to make up. He's on the best tires right now. He's got a ways to go right now. In the meantime, though, folks, we are going to keep on going around and around Auto Club. We want to talk a little bit about the liveries, the paints that we've been seeing tonight, and wanted to highlight a couple of them and just get your votes on who you folks thought had the paint scheme of the night. We got a couple of names I want to throw your way. Risi, Wiles, and then that's, let's see, Risi is in the 50 there. Risi's got that beautiful Peanuts, a Charlie Brown Christmas paint. You jump over to Wiles. Daniel Wiles in the 88. 88 has just got this great looking Christmas wreath wrap right there. The Team Conti car, the green and the red, very, very festive. Grande Jr., one of our picks up here in the booth for sure, has got the Elf car, I believe. Grande Jr.
Obviously, I have to go with the Grande Jr. paint scheme because the amount of times I wore out DVDs of Elf on, well, it wasn't even a Christmas thing. It was pretty much, there was a good like 6-month time span where I thought Will Ferrell was the funniest thing ever as a kid, and maybe watched that movie way too many times.
Well, that's, you know what, you can't, as long as you're a kid, you can't watch a movie too many times. That's the way I go. That's the way I see it. Even as an adult, you know, heck, you watch it, watch your movie, have some fun. And let's not forget, though, Randy Sample, who has got the Naughty or Nice Choose a Side Santa Claus car. One side's naughty, one side is nice. Nice passing him on the right, naughty passing him on the inside.
It reminds me of a Christmas ties. There's got to be a way to say that, and I'm not saying it right. But a Christmas version of I think it was years back, but I think it was John Andretti drove a light side or dark side Star Wars paint scheme.
That's clever.
Through a Cheerios endorsement. It was a really good looking car. I'll have to find a picture of it somewhere for you.
Yeah, please do. Sounds like a lot of fun. So we got a couple cars there for you folks. Want to know who you think has got the best paint scheme out of those four, or if you have a name that we didn't mention, just go ahead and throw it in the chat. Let's see what you think. While we're going around, I want to do a quick thank you again to RB Racing for sponsoring tonight's race, to Roy Paints Things also for sponsoring tonight's race, and out to Merica and 302, two other teams that are helping out with keeping the lights on here and making these great events happen for you guys to watch.
It's definitely been a great show these guys have put on, and a great clean race. I mean, it's been dominated by these long green flag runs. Knock on wood, Joe, say nothing, please.
Zipped.
Good man. And it's been a real good showcase too for these changes that iRacing's made. You know, I talked about them so much at the start of the broadcast. Look at how much this track has changed since we dropped the green flag. The corners basically look like this straightaway that we're on right now. You know, not too much rubber buildup. Look at it now. You can see how slick they are, how much rubber has been laid into the asphalt. And, you know, you've noticed a lot of handling changes with these cars throughout the race because of it.
Yeah, we've seen some handling changes. We've seen big bounce off the wall there. We've seen self slides more than a handful of times during this race that have caused cars to go down to the inside and bounce off the walls here. But we've seen almost every situation we've seen with a car getting a little bit loose has been kind of the result of, has been potentially the result of these changing track conditions.
One person that's stood strong through all of it, though, Patrick Getter up there at the front, 2.7 seconds ahead of Wembley. Wembley not really closing that advantage any at all. It's starting to get into that time window, too, where time's going to be running out here. Because we are just shy of 10 laps to go here for this thing.
That's right. Whew, we are getting there. Time is marching on. It is flying right now. Now, the pace, correct me if I'm wrong, Sheldon, but the pace of this race has changed a little bit. The texture of the race has changed a little bit once we got into the third stage. In the first two stages, it was a lot of fast racing for the line, a lot of constant competition all the way up and down the field. But once we got to the middle of stage 3, that's when the pace of this race really settled in and people were starting to think, well, if I got to do green flag pit stopping, I don't know how hard I'm going to be able to race. I don't want my green flag pit stop to cost me too much.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
At this point, you've got what you got. You made your bed. You got to lay with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now, if you made the wrong call, you just got to hope that something drastic happens here. Somebody's going to make a mistake at some point. Somebody's going to turn a wheel the wrong direction. It feels like every time we get into that 10 lap to go window for one of these big races, somebody just oversteps the bounds somewhere. And then from then on, it's just how good you can be in 2 laps.
Coming rounding through the 77 of Ryan Strunk. Trying to make that pass there. Jeremy Long not quite able to hold on high on the outside. Strunk with a great head of steam down the back straight. Can he make it? It looks like Jeremy is going to really try to put the screws to him, try to keep that speed up. But Jeremy Long, just by a nose, cannot quite compete with just that white-hot heat that Ryan Strunk is currently putting down.
Strunk's been put together a pretty good race here tonight. Sitting in that top 10 since we dropped the green flag 140 laps ago. But I got to give Long, some credit. He stayed out late on that set of tires too, so he's got the fresher stuff here. And Long has been really fast all night as well.
He has been. He's been like the mini boss of this race, just constantly, sitting there being the one that you have to pass, the one you have to challenge to get past him is getting past the gateway to first place right now. Now, I know it probably doesn't want to be called the gateway to first place, but I'm trying to compliment him. What I'm trying to say here is that Long has been a constant thorn in the side of anybody who has tried to get anywhere near him. And I think that kind of racing is good up here at the front.
You calling him a gatekeeper?
Only the best kind.
Okay. I was gonna say, because that could be an insult there.
That's true. That's true. In the NASCAR world, though, I think if you have the keys to if you're the portal to what's in front of you, then you have a lot of responsibility to keep people behind you. And he's done a great job of being a challenge to get past. He's done a great job of being a challenge as he moves forward through the field. So I really liked watching Jeremy Long's race tonight.
Yeah, one that I've really enjoyed following, and unfortunately it's not going in the direction that he's hoping it would right now, though. But that 9 machine of Cole Fitzpatrick, the big spin at the beginning of the race, lost all that track position, all that ground, had to carve his way through, took him 2 stages to get up to the front, was up there with a fighting chance to potentially win the deal tonight, but unfortunately, Carr just not favoring these long green flag runs, kind of mired back now, and just hanging on for dear life, and hoping we get a caution here within these next 7 laps to seal it off.
Oh, man. Yeah, a caution within these next 7 laps would be we would be entering uncertainty town. I couldn't tell you exactly what would happen on the restart after that, how crazy it might be. Now, considering that these restarts have all been very clean, might be a good situation. But I would like to see us race clean to the end, just because I think that Patrick Gitter has really put in the time and energy to win this race, and I think the yellow, it'd be exciting. I have to admit it, but you want to see the guy who's put in the time and energy. You kind of also want to see him finish where he wants to finish. I think that's Wembley for sure, and Gitter. But I would love to see Charles Wembley right there at the end pull out that extra little E-tank that I know he's got and just try to close the distance, but it might be too little too late at this point.
It's certainly too little too late. Wembley's got a lot of pace. But the problem is, so does Gitter. These two have been matched lap after lap. It's just come down to who had control of the race between these two, and it's been Gitter from, basically the drop of the green flag. Wembley taking over stage 2. Oh, Wembley tags the fence a little bit out of turn 4. Doesn't hurt him too bad, though. Keeps it pointed straight. Doesn't lose too much momentum either. But, if you're going to beat Patrick Gitter on a track like this, you've really got to dig deep. And Wembley has dug deep. It's just doesn't have the time to get the job done. And when these cars are so equal, when these drivers are so talented, and they're so on the edge every lap, there's only so little that you can find that you haven't found already.
That's right. And whoa, Jaden Hopp flying down the field right now. Down, 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 down. I don't know what happened, but Jaden Hopp was in about 4th place, 3rd or 4th place, and now he's down to 16th. What an unfortunate place to end this race for Jaden Hopp. Down to 19, 20. Yeah, something must have happened. Something must have happened. He must not be on the track anymore.
That off-kilter pit strategy that he threw there definitely put him behind the 8 ball. Stayed out late, maybe hoping for a caution that never came.
Yeah, don't know what to say there, unfortunately. With Jaden Hopp now off the racetrack, I think he might have had connection lost. That sucks. Yeah. Oh, man.
It's a rough way to end it out here tonight.
Made it to lap 145, 146, and then dropped due to connection loss. You know what? My honorable mention of the race is definitely going to go to Jaden Hopp because he put on an incredible charged 24 places up from where he started and ended up getting the short end of the stick thanks to Comcast. Don't love to see it. You just don't love to see it.
100%. Jaden Hopp put together a really strong top 5 performance here tonight. It's a shame he doesn't get to, bring it back home with him.
Right. So
across the stripe here to take 3 laps to go. Patrick Gitter just holding his breath now, hoping that we keep this thing green. 2 more rotations.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We've got 19 cars on the lead lap in this race, which is pretty good for a race that went 150 laps, longer than most of our regulation races that we do in iRacing. Like you mentioned earlier, this was a long one. This was a bit of a marathon for some of these guys who don't normally race that long, and they managed to stay. We had 20 cars on the lead lap the entire time.
I started first with saying, love you to death, buddy, but what kind of math did they teach you at St. Louis? Because I don't remember calling a 0-lap dash before.
What? Well, oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough. I got bad.
But
bad,
yeah, no,
this,
I think NIS here is about 100 laps. We stick another 100 miles on top of that for this race, and it's been impressive. These guys are going green this long. As we see a little bit of cloud roll in over the speedway here.
Oh, whoa, yeah. I think we're going to be down to the white flag here as Patrick Gitter, I almost said Jaden Hopp, as Patrick Gitter comes on down to the line. There's the white flag, and we're going to be bringing it on home here at the Naughty or Nice 300. We got 1 more to go.
And a dominant drive here. Started this thing up at the front of the pack, grabbed the lead early in the first handful of laps, and Patrick Gitter has basically just done everything but walk away with it here, but in his closing stages, he has absolutely done just that. Over 4 seconds back to second place, leading us down into turn 3 for the final time. And what a long one it's been here tonight. 150 laps of this. Patrick Gitter has been up at the front for most of those and out of turn 4 to bring it home and make it official. Patrick Gitter is going to win the Naughty or Nice 300 from Auto Club.
That's nice. I would call that one for the nice column for sure. The number 21 of Patrick Gitter crosses the line in first place. Beautiful finish to a beautiful race, boys. What a run. What a run. And we've got all the drivers now starting their congratulations. A few pats on the back for a good race. Quick little tap from the 3, Wimbley. Definitely the number 1 rival to Gitter all night. Charles Wimbley, we'll be talking to him later. And then Zach Millett for your third place finish for your 1, 2, 3.
I'll tell you what a great run for these guys. And what a well-deserved win for Gitter. Showed up with a fast piece, worked his tail off to get the job done here tonight. Gets it done. You know, there's no better feeling than that.
That's true. That's true, sir.
And what was it? Outside of stages, we have like 2, 3 cautions all night. No caution in the final stage.
Yeah. I think we had
That
2
is
cautions.
beyond impressive.
Yeah. We had two
Everybody.
cautions in an Auto Club race and 150 laps. Not bad.
Everybody that gritted up for this bad boy tonight should be patting themselves on the back for that, because that was incredible racing all the way throughout the field. Such a blast covering it here with you, Joe.
Oh, it was fun. That was a good time. I love a good race like this, and I love it. We get a chance to call some big events like this. This was great. We had 29 drivers out there, just turning 150 laps of pure gold tonight. And there's a big burnout.
Like I said, there couldn't have been a better showcase for this new patch here on iRacing. These changes they've made to the dynamic track surface. If you haven't been excited about the oval refresh yet, you should be by now, because we saw so much changing during that race and so many different lanes come in and work.
That's right. Now let's break down the unofficial results here from Auto Club. Patrick Gitter in first place, Charles Wimbley in second, Zach Millett in third, Bryce Reiner in fourth, Daniel Wiles in fifth, then Jarby Long, Ryan Strunk, Jacob Bradley, Kevin West, and Cole Fitzpatrick, rounding out your top 10.
In home 11th place is going to be Kevin Zosiak with Matthew Taylor in 12th. 13th going to Joseph Sullivan with Jake Jarrett in 14th. 15th place is going to be Devin Baker with Russell Black in 16th. 17th goes to Vincent Shork, followed by Matthew Carbina, Jim Treat, and Ryan Gillen, rounding out the top 20.
Moving right along, 21st, it's going to be Dallas Fridley. 22nd, Brian Reese. 23rd, Randy Sample. 24th, Jaden Hopp. 25th, Craig Lewis. 26th, Gabriel Andy. 27th, Aaron Smith. 28th, Roy Grandy. 29th, James Molyneux. And 30th, Justin Bell. That's your official, unofficial finishing order here at the Naughty or Nice 300. We are going to have a little chat now with some of the finishers. We're going to start things off by talking to Zach Millett, I believe, who was the third place finisher for tonight's race. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him up here, and we will talk to Zach. Hey, Zach, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir. Got a copy.
Hey, all right. Hey, congratulations there on that third place finish. Now, you led one lap of this race tonight, but you started it in second and you stayed competitive the whole time. This was a really competitive race. What was the biggest challenge for you? Because I saw so many different little challenges being thrown to so many different drivers, but I want to get your perspective on it. What was your biggest challenge during tonight's race?
Yeah, it was a glorious one lap. It was the best lap of the race, in my opinion. But I don't know. You know, I'd say like the dirty air, you know, with these cars, it's always almost every track you deal with it. But here, it's just hard to find, you know, a different line if somebody gets around you. I kind of wanted to run the bottom, and, you know, a lot of other people did. So every time I get past, I'd have to find a different spot, because if you get behind them, then you just lose too much momentum, and it's something else in these cars. But man, it just shout out to Patrick Gitter and Charles and Jaden. Big shout out to Jaden. I mean, Jaden this was his third place all night long, and I hate that he lost connection there at the end. It's just terrible timing, but those guys, and they all had really good long run pace.
Yeah, we mentioned the tragedy of Jaden Hopp up here in the booth when we saw him suddenly switch from third place down to 24th. We knew something was up, and so it's nice to hear that you gave him a nice shout out there. But you, sir, also deserve many kudos for that drive tonight. Stayed out of any of the. We didn't have any self spins. You didn't get caught up in any of the few things that we had going on. So, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out to for that great drive?
Yeah, I'd love to give a shout out to you guys for the broadcast. You guys do a heck of a job. I'm looking forward to going back and watching it. Huge shout out to Russell Black. I mean, all the work and time he puts into this. He's just one of those guys, when he puts his head to something, I mean, he does it perfectly. And I think tonight really shows what kind of product he can throw out there. You know, he gets you guys for the broadcast, which is just top of the line, and a great field. I mean, everybody was real clean and fast, real fast. So yeah, just shout out to him for all the time and effort he put into it. All the admins, AMR up there in race control. There's a couple little spins there throughout the race that were, spun off the line and wasn't a threat to anybody. So shout out to him for keeping it green when he could. Team Conti Sim Performance for everything they do it for us. Merica Racing, EMR Paintball. All the viewers watching your stream there on YouTube, and all the viewers on my stream, big thanks. And yeah, it's fun, man.
All right, Zach, thank you very much for your time. Folks, that was Zach Millett up here in the booth with us, third place finisher at the Naughty or Nice 300. Zach, you take care. Have a happy holidays and a good rest of your evening, okay?
You too, guys.
All righty then. I'm going to go ahead and pass the microphone over to my man, Sheldon. And Sheldon is going to bring up the second place finisher here of Charles Wimbley.
Yeah, car number 3 coming across the stripe in P number 2, sitting here with Charles Wembley after a really good race, winning the first stage, and looks like maybe just falling a little bit short on strategy there at the end. What do you need to get up there to Patrick Garrett to close this thing out?
A little bit more skill on my end. Burnt up my stuff a bit too early. I had a really fun time here. I learned a lot. Having those long runs were really cool to have. It's not often in racing you see long runs, a lot of patience. Really good battles with Patrick. That was a really fun battle in the first stage. And overall just had a really fun time. Just gotta figure out what I did different from the first stage and the second stage compared to the final one after pit stops, but had a really fun time.
So 150 laps, mostly green. Brand new track updates here with the way the track's rubber in and everything with the latest build with Over Refresh. Tell me, how different was this run at Auto Club compared to some in, well, I think we came here literally at the tail end of last season. Any big changes out there?
Not major from what I at least I saw. Only major was being behind someone. The dirty air was a bit worse if you stayed behind someone for too long, but it wasn't really that noticeable. I think it probably made the bottom much more it made tire saving better being on the bottom the entire time, but apart from that I didn't really notice a huge difference. But I mean, I just hate that Auto Club isn't on the schedule. I really miss this track in real life and having it back on like NIS or other tracks, but being able to race in this track in any form, any car, it's a real pleasure to be racing on.
Absolutely. Want to round things off here tonight. Who do you want to thank for the third place performance here for the Naughty or Nice 300?
First, I want to thank you guys for hosting this event. It was incredible. Definitely one of the best hosted events I've ever done. Family, friends, and Santa. Hopefully he thinks I've been a chill guy, and probably gonna go to sleep. I'm a bit sick right now.
Charles, thanks for coming up here and talking to us. It was a joy to watch you race out there tonight. And we'll head on over to Joe LaCastro with the race winner here tonight, the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right, and you heard it right there from Sheldon. Here we go. Patrick Gitter, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, all right. Not bad, Mr. Patrick Gitter. We've got you. Well, you've got a baby shark, apparently.
That was a jump scare and a half.
Special guest up here in the booth, baby shark as well, but Patrick Kidder, you've got the gold medal tonight, my man. You won the first stage. You won the third stage. Tell us, what was coming into Auto Club, how locked in did you feel? Did you feel like this was going to be your race tonight?
I felt like we'd have a pretty competitive car. We were really good in the opens I guess it was last week at Auto Club, whenever it was, week before. But I mean, I felt pretty good about it. I was checking some of the practice sessions that Russell put up just to see how much of a temperature change there was going to be, if any. But you know, kudos to Russell. He said he was going to put the temperatures close to open, and that was pretty spot on. So we just kind of ran a race and got a feel for what it was going to do.
Excellent, my friend. You know, you led 132 laps out of 150. Charles Wimbley was one of the ones that gave you one of the toughest challenges here. Tell me about the end of stage 2. When were you just thinking, you know, I'm just going to hold back here a little bit? Were you trying to race Wimbley for the stage win? It looked like you really were. Or what do you think kept you from getting the stage win there from him?
Yeah, man. Charles ran a fantastic stage there in stage 1. Honestly, I just was like, I need to see, you know, if this thing goes green, I'm not gonna try to save. I'm just gonna run a fairly, I don't know, fairly aggressive pace to see how bad the fall off is. That way I was gonna know what might happen at the end of the race and figure out how much I might need to save, because I think every A Open I was in, at Auto Club the other week, I don't think any of them went green the whole way. I think we had cautions at about every 20 to 25 lap interval. So I had no idea what the fall off was going to be like. So it was just kind of a learning how bad the difference was going to be with me pushing versus somebody that's saving. But I mean, Charles nailed it. I knew he was probably going to get there. I was trying to see if I could hold him off on the top, and it didn't work out. And kudos to him. He did a good job saving his stuff that run.
You guys it was one of the best races at Auto Club I think I've ever seen. It was a solid race, really clean, and one of the only wrecks I saw was after I said everything was looking good and green. That's when there was immediately a spin there. But you, sir, you were a leader for the field. It felt like it was just really an impressive drive. So I wanted to say congratulations again. Great job there, winning it here at the Naughty or Nice 300. Is there anyone you want to shout out to or thank for this wonderful win here?
Yeah, man. First off, Russell for putting this on. I told Russell before I came in here, it felt more like a league race than a money race. Some of these money races sometimes can be kind of chaotic, but I mean, he set the standard and it went really well. So shout out to him. Shout out to you guys in the booth, Grid Vision for broadcasting, Fortis Motorsports, my buddy Matt DiCiani for helping us build these cars that we run. In the opens, I mean, it's just a two-man team putting these cars together from what we've learned the past few years, and it's been fun. It's just different challenge having the two of us out here trying to put some cars together. They're fast. And then Johan Seminario, he ran this paint. I love this paint. It's kind of a throwback to RCR. I grew up about 15 minutes from their shop, so that's my home team, and love repping a paint that kind of resembles that old Harvick scheme.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, everybody. That was Patrick Gitter. Patrick, thanks for joining us up here in the booth. And we look, I hope I get to talk to you again real soon.
All right. Yep. Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
You take care. Have a happy holidays, and we'll talk to you later. All right, folks. That was Patrick Gitter. That was your race winner, and that is going to wrap things up for us here at the Naughty or Nice 300. Sheldon, how you feeling? You feeling naughty or nice after that one? Oh, Russell. Oh, excuse me. We want to get a quick interview here, and also with Russell Black, who's up here in the booth. Russell, I heard you sneak in earlier, but I want to ask you how you feel after that one. You think the event went pretty well from your point of view?
Man, we do one of these just about every quarter. We've gone to Michigan, we've gone to Homestead, The most recent one we did was Texas. This by far was probably my favorite one. Typically like the caliber of guys that I end up having join these turns me into a field filler, and usually I'm about mid-pack every single one of these. But at the end of the day, like I want these to be good events where guys come out and have an opportunity to run and race hard, and then also hopefully go home with some money. So for this one, we had just over $600 in cash and prizes. Gitter's going to take home $200, a trophy, and a pair of gloves from Saints of Speed. So, and then we've got quite a few other prizes and awards that are being handed out. And actually, one of the awards, I was curious for you guys, I know we were looking at the best paint scheme, and I wanted to hear from you guys, like which one were you thinking?
I got this.
Take it away, buddy.
It was my pick. It was Grande Jr. with the Buddy the Elf machine.
Nice. Okay. Good. That is really cool. Glad to see Buddy the Elf won it. Congratulations. But yeah, guys, I appreciate the broadcast. I know we had AMR Paintworks in doing race control. He sent me the post race, and I think there was 4 line items. So like that's the type of event that we try to put on. And I appreciate all the drivers coming out. Appreciate our sponsors. Roy Paints Things, 302 Simracing, Merica Racing, and then I've got a TikTok channel as well. I'm not as big of a user on it anymore, but certainly stop in, check it out, and yeah, great broadcast. I'm excited to go back and watch the full thing with the audio. I've got it on my 4th monitor, but I didn't hear any of it, so I'm excited to go back and watch it.
Well, thank you very much, my friend. We had a pleasure putting it on. I definitely did, Sheldon. I think you can speak for yourself here in a minute, but I had a blast. This was fantastic. Auto Club is a fun track for multi-groove racing, and you really picked them. You really picked them tonight. These guys put on a fantastic show, and 150 laps is nothing to sneeze at. With only like 2 cautions for the whole night, really, really good stuff. How about you, Sheldon?
Man, it was an absolute blast, start to finish. You're talking about how you put these things on every quarter. If you're trying to go for a smaller track next go around, I'd like to throw the new Rockingham or Iowa in the hat, because those both put on excellent shows, especially with multi-groove racing and a lot of different ways you can get around it. But tonight here at Auto Club, absolute blast. Enjoyed every lap, and I'm just impressed with the quality of drivers in this field tonight to get this thing done with only 2 real cautions.
You brought up Iowa, and actually Iowa is where I was thinking for the next one, just to change it up. Actually, we had a league race at Iowa the other night, and I was expecting it to, not be the greatest, and it was fantastic. So I think we might be going to Iowa for the next one.
I do have to say, as much as I hated the fact they put down all the grip strips and everything at Iowa with the repave, we use that term very loosely with what they did there. But I feel like it's made the track a lot racier, and there's a lot of different lines you can do, given you can't work the top through 3 and 4 like you used to, but there's a lot of stuff you can do in 1 and 2 now that's a little more special than what you had back in the day. Especially with the next-gen car where you can't even think about touching a bump.
Yeah, it'd be it's nice. I enjoyed it, and hopefully it'll make for some good racing.
All right.
We'll definitely be glad to cover it. What do you think, Joe?
I would love to cover it. I would love to cover a race at Iowa coming up here. And I think that if it's going to be the same crew, well, you can sign me up, you can sign you up, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Well, that sounds good, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys showing up, and you guys always do a fantastic job on the broadcast. So yeah, appreciate it, guys.
All right, Russell, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All righty, that was Russell Black, everybody. And now, officially, we are going to wrap things up here a little bit. Sheldon had a good time. I had a good time. Anything else you want to say to the people, Sheldon, who are listening?
I'm gonna go celebrate with the spiked eggnog and settle down for the night. But it's been a blast being up here in the booth, and great race tonight. Congrats to Patrick for the big win, and also congrats to Grande Jr. for winning the paint scheme poll. I'm pretty happy about that. We pushed Buddy the Elf back into prominence here tonight.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I just want to say happy holidays, everybody. Whatever holiday you're out there celebrating, I hope it's a good one. Take care. I hope you're with friends and family. And thank you for joining us tonight on the Naughty or Nice 300. I'm Joe LaCastro. I was joined once again by Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire. From the entire Grid Vision team, we want to thank you for watching and participating. We had a lot of great participation tonight in the chat. If you'd like to get a league broadcast or you want to start your career in broadcasting, hit us up on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. And congratulations once again to Patrick Kidder on winning tonight's race here from Auto Club. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and Austin Derbyshire. And hey, we'll see you next time on the grid. Happy holidays, everyone.